Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. Today is August 1st, 2024, and we're doing a sewer scope here in Mill Creek. We're at 1237 East Manor Circle. We have the camera pushed out 116 feet to the city connection. That's what you're seeing. That's what you are seeing on the screen now. A little bit of water flowing from neighboring lines. Now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So that first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. And it looks like a good connection point there. This is how you want the line to look. No standing water, which indicates they have proper grade. There's a little bit of an offset there where the pipes have separated a little bit. This is what you don't want to see. Standing water, waste that is built up. This is a sign of bad grade through this area where you have a little bit of a belly, enough that it's starting to completely cover my camera head. And so over time, oil can get stuck and it can build up and create kind of a sticky spot, and that can create a blockage where waste then backs up into the house. So certainly not ideal, and the only way to fix bad grade is to dig it up and do a spot repair. Another, looks like maybe a little bit of an offset there. Trying to tell what this buildup is or what that discoloration is, and I'm not positive. The opening on the top looks like an access point, a clean out. I didn't see one outside, but a lot of times they are buried. This next opening is questionable. I don't know what would be feeding into the line 83 feet out. At this point, I would assume that we're out of the building, foundation. I think we're out in the yard somewhere, and so typically you might have an access point like a clean out, but you wouldn't have something coming into the side like that. This house is built late enough that I wouldn't expect it to have a shared line, but that would be the concern, is if this line is shared with a neighbor. You're not able to control what they put down the line. A lot of times you can't get the same insurance on a sewer line if it's shared. Another offset here. The only way to fix disconnected pipes like that is to dig it up and re-slope it. As I pull back, you can see how much that lip is really exposed, where waste could get stuck. Always a good sign when it's not holding waste. It's also better that it's on the side of the pipe and you don't have a big lip on the bottom. I would certainly recommend the insurance on this line. That would help offset the cost if and when there's a bigger issue, if you don't actively replace it, which could be very expensive. Now we're transitioning to cast iron. Cast iron is what's underneath the house. The issue with cast iron is it gets really rough and rusty. Waste can get stuck on it. Eventually it will need to be replaced. It also gets real thin over time. It's hard to know how thin it is now. We're only seeing the inside visible section. We can't see how thick it is. A little offset there. Just like my camera has a hard time getting over it, waste is also going to have a harder time. And now we're coming back up the roof stack, which is where I access this line, is through the stack. So just to recap, you do have some areas that don't have very good grade. You have a handful of offsets, a fair amount of cast iron, and so not the best looking line, definitely not the worst. But some items that could cause issues in the future. at a bare minimum, you definitely want to carry the insurance on this line. That way they would help offset the cost when there is an issue. I'm going to end this recording now.